BB851, turn right, heading 180. 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established 27.
The first Airbus A380 that Emirates welcomed into its operations is set to be recycled following a contract that was signed with UAE-based Falcon Aircraft Recycling. Would you believe that the very first Airbus A380 was only delivered to Emirates 13 years ago, and is now being broken apart for the very first time as well? The airline has already salvaged crucial parts like that of the engines, landing gears, main flight control components, and so forth. However, the other areas of the aircraft will now be utilised for something different. You may be asking to yourself just what they'll be utilised for. The parts that will be stripped will be transformed into both furniture and memorabilia. It doesn't stop just there though, with also the intention to turn it into retail items that will eventually be sold. Emirates' goal is to keep some of the money and also give a portion of all the proceeds to the airline's charity. You may be asking just what the charity is. The charity that I have set up is to help disadvantaged children, an all-round great cause and of course use for the Airbus A380s that would have otherwise been sent to the scrap in the desert. Why would they be heading to the scrap though rather than say somewhere else? Because there is no second-hand market for the Airbus A380. Other, smaller aircraft are more favourable, like that of the Airbus A350, Boeing 787, and many other aircraft. For carriers around the world, these make more sense, and unlike 20 or so years ago, when we'd see airlines look for second-hand Boeing 747s, especially your niche-type airlines, this is not a trend that we're seeing in 2021 leading into 2022, especially with the emergence of the global pandemic. The president of Emirates, Tim Clark, said that he believed it was a fitting end to the flagship of their fleet, the A380, which in relative terms has not actually been around for all that long with the carrier. The airline is currently preparing to welcome its final Airbus A380 in the coming weeks. However, more notably, this particular aircraft I make mention of will be the final Airbus A380 delivered before the program completely closes. This is a landmark moment for the series that isn't necessarily the most welcome thing, but one we've had many years now to process, as the announcement was made back in February of 2019, when Emirates made the announcement that they had cancelled a number of their A380 orders, and Airbus subsequently also announced that production would cease very soon, with the final delivery of the A380 taking place in 2021. And now, as we rapidly approach the end of the year, we are indeed at that moment now. For Emirates though, they intend to continue flying the Airbus A380 well into the future, and they'll likely be the last remaining airline to operate the type. It's not necessarily a shock though, when we consider that they are the largest operator and welcoming in the final aircraft to be delivered, so it was always probable that they'd be one of the last operators in existence. In saying all that, Emirates definitely likes keeping their fleet young. That is why we're already seeing the first A380s depart at just the young age of 13 years. Now, in comparison to some of your workhorses like that of the 767 and 757s that can stretch 25 to 30 years, the difference is staggering. But at the end of the day, the business model for every airline changes. So, what are your thoughts on Emirates' initiative to salvage parts from the Airbus A380, and certainly unique? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you very, very much for watching. I appreciate the support, and I'll see you later today for another video on the channel.